Greetings, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Angelic Alchemy Meenakshi, and I'm here today to share a quick update on the energies of this year, 2025, and what we can expect as a collective to happen. And as I'm sharing these details, we can also work on alchemizing some of the timelines that are going to be coming up, might come up, that are going to be harsh for the collective. And at the same time, also understanding that some of the timelines are needed for the transformation to happen for our collective. So as you listen into this video, just take what resonates with you and you can leave whatever does not click with you. Okay. As I share the downloads that I receive from my beautiful guides in Dreamtime meditation, as well as in channeled messages that come through from Divine Mother, Divine Father of our creation, as well as various ascended masters that I do work with that help me stay on my path, on my mission here. Some of the messages are going to be full of ease and hope and love. And at the same time, there are some messages that are going to be difficult to fathom at times, as well as challenging, because it's basically a challenge that our collective is most likely going to be faced with. But as the warriors that we are, the spirit of the warrior that we bring with us in our DNA, and for everything that we are meant to do here as a collective, we have to look at both sides of our life, the light as well as the dark, so that we're prepared for what has to come as far as the challenges go, and that we're able to face them as warriors instead of going into a freeze or flight reaction to them. So just take what resonates and you can leave what does not. Okay, so thank you so much for being here. I am a practitioner of angelic alchemy, hypnosis, past life regressions, angelic alchemy, Reiki's, Akashic records reading, and I am a spiritual mentor as well. You can find out more about me on my website, which is angelicalchemyholistichealing.com. I am on YouTube as this channel and Instagram and Facebook as well. So thank you. So let's get started. One of the first messages the vision that I was getting was that of the collective having gone through the winter months, which basically signifies time of rest and recouping and really recharging ourselves, our chakras, our DNA, and going within as we, move towards the end of the year, as going within, looking at the challenges and the lessons that we've learned in the year that has just gone by, and thereby assimilating those lessons and becoming the way showers for ourselves for our path ahead, and what we are here to basically create next as new opportunities, as new lessons, as whatever else has to come up in our lives individually as well as for the collective. So making sure that we do all of that groundwork as we're stepping into the new year. I do feel that the new year is not a flick of the button, and it's not that the clock just strikes 12 and that you are in 2025 or the year further to that. I do feel that it is still a longer transitional period, and sometimes it can take a couple of months to even step into the year. And that is perfectly normal, as I heard from some of my clients who also felt the need to rest a little bit more, to, recoup a little bit more, to still do some healing work left over from last year, which they feel will make them stronger to be able to take the challenges, to take over what has to come next within their life. And that's absolutely normal. As we know, our calendars have also been messed up over the years. And so, New Year's can go all the way up to the month of March as we go into the new beginnings. Okay. Now, one of the things that is really coming forward for this year, as per Vedic astrology, is the year of Mars. We call it Mangal. As we know, Mars is the red-orange planet. It is a planet of courage. It is a planet of power. It is a planet of progress. And it is a planet of passion as well. So that is the energy that we're going to feel this year. There's going to be a lot happening. There's, I think, never going to be a moment when we're going to be just sitting and, just watching things go by. It's going to be a year of action. Okay. So as that happens, one of the visions, one of the messages that came through was that we're going to be in a state of constantly being ready and on our guards for wars, attacks, and anything that can catch us unaware, to just be aware of that. Okay, so just being prepared for that. So being ready with a warriorship, and also being able to use our intuition to look at every situation that we are in a heart-centric way, and be able to take those decisions. Okay. Now, when it comes to Mars as a planet, it is a planet of power. So there's going to be a lot of power struggle that the governments, the countries are going to go through. And we are going to have a lot of challenges as far as that goes, because the energy of Mars can be, again, it is power, right? With great power comes great responsibility. So some would take this power in a responsible way. And it can also, if it is misdirected and if it is imbalanced in some, say, countries, or, the top of the states of the countries, that same power can be misused as well. And so we want to make sure that as we are entering this year, as we go through this year, that we are standing on the right side of creation of what has to be for the highest good of all. And therefore, it's very important to be balanced this year. In one of the dreams that I had a couple of months, because the messages don't come, just at one go, they are delivered as we are building up to the situation. So one of the dreams that I was shown a couple of months back was I was out in the marketplace, and there were a lot of people around, and then I suddenly hear a lot of sounds in the sky. And I run out from the marketplace to the main street, and as I look up, I can see four, five, five big clouds, and behind the clouds, I, so I could see the clouds, but I could see beyond the clouds the shadow of what was behind those clouds. In each one of the clouds, four of them were hiding four fighter jets. So there were four fighter jets that were in the sky, going for defense or offense, either ways. I couldn't tell at that point. And the fifth one was actually the angel of death, Archangel Azrael. And he had his scythe with him, and he was flying along, because apparently what it looked like in the dream was that his energy was needed to what was about to happen. Okay. And again, not going into fear as you get all of this, because the only reason these messages are shared with us is so that we're not caught off guard, and that we can also help to alchemize some of these situations. And yes, and as I saw that, I looked at people around me and I asked them, do you see it? Do you see that there are four fighter jets masked by the clouds? And yes, a lot of people could not see it. And then the angel of death was along, with these jets. He was just going to help the situation do what he was meant to do. And so basically, what this meant was that there are going to be four main countries that are going to go to war. Some of it already got triggered last year. This year, it is very imperative for each one of us to hold our stance and do what we came here to do. Yes, so that's the energy that is going to be very prominent this year. Apart from, of course, there's going to be a lot of love, a lot of expansion. There's going to be a lot of spiritual awakening. People are going to wake up. The ones that are still sleeping are going to wake up, and they're going to be able to see the truth as well. So as I was receiving this message about the possibility of, countries going to war this year, Hanuman-Ji stepped forward as well, as, he just presented himself to show that he's going to be here as well. And it completely ties into this message, because even astrologically, to balance the energy of Mars, Hanuman-Ji's energy is of prime importance, because he carries the energy of the wind element. He carries the energy of Shiva, because he is a form of Shiva. He is one of the Rudra forms of Shiva. He was birthed from Shiva himself. And so he carries that energy of balance, but he represents power in its most humble, positive, benevolent way, and how you can use it in a positive way, in benevolence, for the highest good of the collective. And he stands for missions, because he was actually birthed for a specific mission himself. If you look into, you can read up more about him, but a quick backstory is that he was here to help Sri Ram and Sita Ma, who are incarnations of Vishnu and Lakshmi, who came to earth basically to teach people about compassion, about truth, about justice, about faith, about hope. And it's a long story of how Sri Ram and Sita had to go into exile because of a backstory related to their personal history with the mothers. And as they went on that journey, Sita Ma, and this was all pre-planned, as you know, most of this is pre-planned because the collective is supposed to learn lessons from them, is abducted by a dark being who carries her across from India into Sri Lanka. And Sri Ram, then on his search for finding his wife, meets Hanuman-Ji along on his way in a jungle, and the entire troop, Hanuman-Ji and his entire troop of monkeys, actually help Sri Ram to cross over the Indian Ocean to go to Sri Lanka to win back his wife and to actually win a battle, a war against darkness, which Ravan represented. And this whole story is about that. And Sri Hanuman played a big, major role in this whole story. And his whole mission was centered around protecting Sri Ram and Sita Mata and loving them and taking care of them, making sure that their union, that they come into their beautiful reunion after everything that they went through. And he safeguarded their mission as well. So he is a perfect example of the kind of deity, God, spirit, ascended master, however you want to view his energy. He is a direct form of Shiva, who is here to help us go through this year specifically. And you can call on him by simply meditating on his name or connecting through chats. His chant is Om Shri Hanumate Nama. I'm going to leave it in the comments section if you want to follow up and connect with his energy, but there are many other chants for him. He also helps get rid of entities and dark energies that might be surrounding anyone. And he's a beautiful protector of children. So if anyone is having troubles with their, with the children not being able to sleep because they have visits from, dark beings, he is here to protect children. So you can call on him to watch over your children and he will be there. Call on him to also help you balance the inner strength within, because he is the god of strength as well, of balance as well. And he's absolutely beautiful. As fierce and giant and big and humongous, he looks to be, full of that power that he has. He is as much gentle and loving in his beautiful, tender heart. So it's a beautiful energy of his heart and his strength that he has, his physical strength. Okay. So I know I spoke a lot about Hanuman, but this is something that I was meant to do today. So I hope you have a wonderful time connecting with his energy. So call on him to actually help go through this year to win the inner wars that you might have, that you're fighting with yourself or with your surroundings, as well as it's going to help us with the energy of the power struggle and the wars that the collective might be experiencing through the countries going to war physically as well. Okay. Now, the other thing that was coming through was there's going to be, we're going to go through a time when sitting in the middle and just watching is really not going to help or aid the collective in any way. The Divine Mother is now urging us to actually take action to decide what we need to do. What I can feel is her just holding her palms up, and they're green in color. And there's a lot of energy of green and emerald also coming through, and heart-centric energy coming through, where we are going to, get off that bridge where we are still watching, are we doing this? Are we doing that? Or what are we choosing? It is time to decide and, take that side of, I'm not saying divide, not divide from anything, but where do you stand? What do you stand for? Are you going to be that love light hero? Are you going to be the angel of peace? Are you going to be the angel of harmony, balance? Are you going to hold space for the collective? Or are you going to go down, the path of carrying on that aggression and that imbalance So what do we choose? What are we going to do? Or are we just going to sit back and, just dwindle our thumbs and just watch everything as it goes by? And who knows, maybe that is the path for some people, which is okay, which is not to be judged, but we are being urged to now start going within into our hearts and evaluating everything, using our intuition to evaluate scenarios personally, professionally, as well as at a collective level, and be able to then hold space for what we stand for. Okay, this is a very beautiful message that is coming forth. Just as we go through this year where there's going to be a power struggle between countries going to war, where there's going to be a lot of struggle for power, and it's going to be driven with a lot of passion. We want to also make sure that we are vigilant and watchful for what we are being shown vis-a-vis what the truth is. So we need to be on a highest guard of intuition, connect with the higher selves, with source, to be able to look through all situations, anything that the collective goes through, the rain that we're receiving, the fog that is coming in, anything that's coming from the sky. This is something that I was hearing months back. Watch out for the sky, watch out for action in the sky. There's going to be a lot of deception. There's going to be a lot of illusion. There's going to be a lot of energy of the devil also trying to poke their head in, trying to create confusion, trying to create illusions of fear so that the collective goes into fear. So anything that comes our way, instead of just falling for it, falling for the trap, and going into fear of, what's going to happen now? There's another V coming up, and what do we do now? And if we don't take it, this is going to happen. Just go within and see what is the root cause of what they're doing. What is it? They want us to look at that. So if they want us to look at that, what is it that they're hiding that they want us to take our eyes off of? So this is a time when we really step into our intuitions and we use our third eye, our all-seeing eye, to be very vigilant and on our guard, so to say, to also have our shields up in a very conscious way, to make sure that we are ready for what has to come, and be able to look through this illusion, the masks that people are wearing, the masks that situations and circumstances are going to have on them, even for the drones that they showed, that came through. I was shown in dream time that they were showing me as if there were these white coffins coming through instead of the drones, and the white coffins basically represented death, and death basically was symbolic of the fear that people have. So they were basically trying to project fear of death onto the collective, but most of the collective saw through it. So of course, we are aware that there is extraterrestrial life out there. And of course, there are, spaceships out there that are dark as well as light, that are of love, which are our beautiful, benevolent galactic soul families. But there are also dark spaceships out there. But specifically, that particular mission that they took of, sending the drones in, scaring people, putting them into fear, was also part of the tactic. And we are meant to basically be vigilant and be able to see through things. This is also going to be a year of a lot of tests and almost like evaluations that we are going to go through individually and as a collective, how true we are, or how focused we are on our missions, on our stand for hope, for faith, for what we stand for. And are we able to see through it? Are we able to see through the gimmicks? So again, a lot of inner work is needed. A lot of shadow work is needed to be able to actually clear that darkness from within ourselves, because a lot of times the devil energy, the dark energy, is not always external. Okay, it could also be internal. It could be the inner demons of doubt that you're dealing with, inner demons of unhealed versions of you projecting on yourself. So we have to be able to be fair with that judgment of ourselves. And when I say judgment, I mean an evaluation in a positive way, where you're able to see, oh, this is just me. This was just me being fearful of something. And, I projected it out and I thought it was coming from this person. Maybe I need to heal this version of myself. So a lot of shadow work is needed, continued shadow work to heal those versions of ourselves. Because overall this year, no matter what happens, whether there's a power struggle, there's a lot of passion that will be positively or inwardly driven for power, or deception, illusion, whatever it is. Truth is the word and the frequency of this year. The sword of truth will be held high. That's what Hanuman-Ji stands for. He stands for truth. He stands for loyalty. He stands for passion for your mission. He stands for love. he stands for love of source. Okay, that's what he carried with him, and that's what kept him focused on his mission. So bring him on, talk to him if you're having any problems with your mission. If you feel someone's trying to interfere with your mission, he will stand guard and he'll protect you from being harmed, or your family from being harmed, as well as your mission from being harmed. He's a great protector for that as well. Okay. There's a very powerful message coming for twin flame unions this year. And this message was brought forth by beautiful Sri Ram and Sita Ma. Again, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, their energy is very prominent this year. And again, it started all of last year as well, and it's flowing into this year. It's because of the journey that they went through as they represented the divine feminine, the divine masculine, the challenges that they went through after getting married, and how they were split and taken apart, and they had to still stay in their heart and trust each other. They had to trust each other's purity, each other's love, their belief in the sacredness of their divine twin flame love, and that no matter what happens, whether they're internal or external struggles, they're going to be one once again forever. And so I see their energy coming together once again this year, leading the way. And it ties in perfectly because Hanuman-Ji is here as well, and they're here as well. So they are basically representative of the divine mother, divine feminine, the divine father, divine masculine, having healed their wounds and coming into divine union once again. And this is going to be celebrated by our collective. This is going to be celebrated by the divine galactics that support us and support our journey. Hanuman-Ji, again, is a beautiful deity that you can call on to protect these divine unions. He is here standing guard for the divine unions to happen as well. So if you and your partner are, done with the work that you had to do, all of your shadow work, healing them, this is going to be a grand year for a lot of twin flame unions that are going to happen, that are going to be protected by source energy. Okay, no one can come and infiltrate and mess with these divine unions because they're meant to be. They are guided by Divine Mother and Divine Father of creation themselves. Okay, so lots of love for that to all of you. At the same time as this beautiful message of divine union of Divine Mother and Divine Father, divine feminine, divine masculine was coming through, Kali Ma came forth with the most beautiful message. And this time I was seeing her more in a very peaceful, loving, divine mother energy of healing, and specifically to do with heart-centric healing. And so a lot of green energy was coming through. And just yesterday in my meditation, I also for the first time connected with Green Tara Ma. And Green Tara Ma is also a form of Shakti, Kali Ma as well. And she basically stands for peace, wisdom, compassion. And when there is a cry that goes from the collective of earth or wherever the cries come from, Green Tara Ma is the one that apart from in many other beings, but Green Tara Ma actually goes to answer that call. And it feels like the same energy as Divine Mother Kuan Yin as well, because that's exactly what she does as well. So the Divine Mothers of Compassion are here to balance out the power struggle that happens on earth and any untoward incidents that happen because of that. They're here to protect and love and heal us. So even Kali Ma was bringing forth the same message of healing our hearts, of healing the wounds that you would have had, the love wounds, the wounds of betrayal, whatever happened in your past lives with your soulmates, with your divine twin flame union that were messed up earlier. No more. That's not going to happen anymore. This lifetime is meant to heal all of that pain and to come together in these divine twin flame unions, because all of what is happening on the collective of earth, all of what is happening on earth is about that union. And so that is the energy that is coming forth. And these beautiful divine mothers in their various forms, Green Tara, Kali Ma, Kuan Yin, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, very, very powerfully, Mary Magdalene is coming through so strongly as well. Her beautiful, fierce, passionate, feisty energy as well, the fun energy that she brings to the mix of all the divine mothers, that is coming forth. And, they're going to hold space for divine unions to happen. So lots of love to all these beautiful twin flames and soulmates coming forth for their union this year. The other message that was coming forth was that of force fields and shields around us. So, of course, this is something that we need to do on a daily basis, and not out of fear ever, but it is a way of empowering ourselves. It's an expression of sovereignty. It is an expression of the boundaries that you lay out, saying, hey, this is my space while I'm going to be giving out love and healing, whatever I'm meant to do, but no one's supposed to trample this boundary, this energy. And we are not here to be to take in all of those attacks. And spiritual warfare is real. There are a lot of psychic attacks that come through, and we are all aware that there's been a lot happening on that front as well, a lot of attacks. So making sure that your shields are up, and Earth Mother herself has such powerful shields happening for her as well. This is a powerful message that came through. And Archangel Michael, I was asking him how these shields come in, and he said solar flashes do that to a great extent. So a lot of the solar flares, solar flashes that have been happening, they're basically increasing bringing in the codes of organic Earth to Earth herself, and activating and increasing the frequency, lifting the frequency of Earth to a higher frequency. So she's able to hold fort and be able to rise into the 5D and the 6D that she's meant to rise at. And therefore, Divine Mother Earth has all of these power shields around her as well, protecting her energy from any attacks. No more attacks on Divine Mother Earth. She is protected, and she is watching out for justice, and that is going to play out. Okay, justice is another word that was coming forth, and karma and justice. Very powerful messages coming for that. And I kept hearing, as you sow, so shall you reap. So a lot of karmic bonds, karmic healings are going to happen as well. There's going to be instant karma in many cases. In most cases, the justice is going to play out. I keep seeing Archangel Michael's balance scales. That's a vision that I was getting. And as I'm speaking, I can hear sirens going off. So they're here. Our benevolent galactic families are here watching God and watching over us, watching over our mission, watching over the collective of Earth. Any unjust action that has been taken, there's going to be an equal and opposite reaction, and karma being played out right away. Okay. I do urge at this point to please hold space for Gaza and what Gaza is going through, the children of Gaza, the people of Gaza, and the attacks that they've been ambushed with for over a year now. Please hold space for them, send love to them, and help in any which way that you can, because it's heart-shattering to see what is going on there. Hold space for love and compassion to rule, to oversee everything that's going on Earth, and that for the people to be connected with their heart in all decisions that they take. In terms of other races, spirit animals stepping forth, a beautiful unicorn stepped forth and spoke about the magic and the gifts that are also going to come with this year. There's going to be a huge awakening. People that have been sleeping so far, that have not been able to see through things, it's a whole new lot of people that are going to awaken this year, and that will happen through everything that the dark forces send our way, the illusions. People are going to be able to see through it. Now they're going to question and they say, we've had enough of this. We've had enough of this drama, this BS, and we can see through this. This is not true. I mean, look at the fog. It's not even real. Okay. Couple of months, no, not couple of years back, I had a dream where they showed me it was raining and people were trying to take shelter from the rain. But as I looked up, I noticed we were not being rained down on with water. There were worms coming down. There were these little tiny microscopic AI worms that were being rained down on people. And, that is one of the main reason of, everything that's happening in the collective. It all goes down as a domino effect on, our surroundings, our health as well. So the unicorn was bringing forth messages of blessings, of gifts, of love, of magic. And the unicorn said, while all of this is something that the collective is going to go through, never forget the love, the magic, the compassion that you're made of. And that in itself is a gift. So remember to connect with the magic that is within you, with the magic of the universe, and believe in magic, believe and have hope, have faith. And the unicorn also said, trust your intuition, start connecting with your intuition, because the horn of the unicorn, what does it do? It connects the unicorn to source. And that is why The unicorns are considered to be the most magical beings. They are connected with the magic and the love of source. The unicorn is also bringing forth that message to connect with your intuition, with your own intuitive self, and to listen to that intuition, take actions. And when you do, in the beginning of the video I had shared, where you need to take that decision on what your stance is, what do you stand for, what are you made of, what are you here for. It'll help you to basically connect with your higher purpose. And once you do that, you will feel a certain sense of peace that completely engulfs you, and you know why you're here on earth, and you're able to contribute towards it. Life becomes meaningful. And that's the message that the unicorn was bringing forth. And then antelopes was stepping forth as well with messages. I've personally been seeing them all Christmas. I even bought a PJ set in the winters, which had antlers of antelopes everywhere. And so, I was just getting attracted to that energy. And then as I was making this video, an antelope stepped forth with the same message with beautiful antlers, just reminding us that while everything is going on, connect with the grace within, connect with that wisdom, because the antlers of the antelope signify and are symbolic of their higher connection. It is their antennas to connect with God source, to connect with the higher power and stay centered, to be speedy, to be swift. Sometimes the actions and the decisions and the actions have to be taken really fast. The antelope is reminding us to stay connected with the higher wisdom and to be agile and to be able to move and change with the circumstances for whatever is needed of you, quickly adapt to that, and to stay safe in doing that, to connect with the energy of the forest, which is again what the forests represent. The forests are green in color. Again, they represent the Divine Mother's heart, to stay connected with the magic of the forest, because forest has all magical beings, elemental beings that live there. So all of these are connected together, and everything that is coming forth in the message, they're all connected, because there's a synchronicity here of the dark and the light, the power struggle and the love and the magic that is still going to be here. And we're being reminded by all of them to stay in our hearts, and no matter what happens, to not go into fear, because this year or no other year, none of them are meant to be for fear. They're meant for us to stay connected with the higher power, with our higher selves, with our own hearts. And that itself will be the guide, the map through this maze that we're going through. Okay. There are a couple of words that were coming forth for this year, so I'm going to just read them out. Truth, justice, acceleration, karma, love, healing, heart, warriorship. So let's make the most of this beautiful year, because overall it's going to be a year which is going to, if we work on ourselves, completely give us the highest heart expansion that our soul can ever receive, because all of these experiences are going to teach us individually and as a collective. So let's take all of this experience and expand our soul and hold space for what we're meant to hold space for here, so we can move forward as a collective in the most beautiful, benevolent way, and watch out for each other, watch out for other people as well, and help as much as you can in any condition and circumstances that people might be in. And if they're approaching, just help. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening in. Sending you so much love to you, your beautiful family. May we all rise in these beautiful missions, and may we all rise for each other and as a collective for the highest good of all, highest good of Divine Mother Earth, for whom we are here. Thank you. Love you all.